Yo, what's up guys? It's Drew. I'm gonna do a trade update on Disney and probably touch base on the market a little bit. So in my previous video, I had talked about playing the triangle break on Disney, and I'm gonna link that below. Essentially, it played out, right? I'm gonna redraw this so it looks a little cleaner. Doesn't matter if we include this because it ultimately broke out already. So what we have here is essentially three white soldiers, which is a reversal pattern to the upside. And we had follow through here. We pushed today, and we kind of have an indecision candle here. And the reason being, we have some resistance in this area, right? You can see here previously, got up, kind of rejected, and then all this chop in here, right? So it makes sense that we stalled here because it took a lot of buying to get out of this coiling pattern, which is this triangle. And now we're gonna need some consolidation, otherwise we're gonna be too extended, right? So had we, instead of putting this indecision candle, we pushed up like that, look how far away we would have been from this daily 8 EMA, right? So this indecision candle allows us to kind of cool down. And of course, it could be a potential evening star pattern. We need a third day to confirm that kind of pattern. But for now, it looks healthy. We just don't want tomorrow another bear candle that's increasing, right? So in that previous video, we were playing the monthly breakout, and it still looks healthy on the monthly pattern, right? Essentially, it was a bull flag. So if I remove the drawings here, we got the pull from here to here, and our flag piece here, which essentially broke already. Potentially we could redraw it. Maybe this is still part of that. But yeah, it'll take time because this is a monthly candle, so we don't want this to close with a wick, right? We want it to be strong. So we still have 16 days left of this month, so we have to keep watch. But from a daily perspective, it looks good, right? Usually a break from a triangle is the height, so we can kind of have an idea of where it's gonna go. So about 15%. So we go here from where the break is, 15%. Puts us right about up here again, testing all-time highs. So potentially, I don't know, depending on where we pull back, right, we'll get a candle that could, not a single candle, but like a couple candles that eventually lead to it. Something like that. You get the idea. So the psychology of the three white soldiers, so let me pop it over here. Basically, we get this downtrend, and we start stalling, and we get this double bottom in this scenario, and we get that three candles back to the upside, and then this indecision candle, right? Exactly how Disney looks like. You can see, we technically didn't have like a significant downtrend like that. You can count these three, but this whole thing was kind of downtrend, and then we got this breakout of this closing pattern, right? Now we're printing that indecision candle just like how this is, but you can see the following day, it started pushing up again. So there's still potential to the upside, right? And we go here, you can see, three white soldiers stalling, but look, the overall trend is still to the upside, which is why I'm saying, Disney still looks good overall. We just have to see how it plays out, right? So on the weekly time frame, we definitely don't want a significant wick or anything. So 2 days left. We want it to end strong. So there could be a potential head and shoulders pattern that we should be aware of. So I like to look at it from all angles, right? Got a left shoulder here, the head, right? And does that mean our right shoulder still needs to be developed? They're gonna print a couple candles like this. This will still take a couple of weeks, right? So just be mindful of that. And obviously be mindful of the overall market, right? So if we go to NQ, which is basically NASDAQ futures, look at the weekly chart. It's been straight up. We haven't really consolidated or anything. If you go to the daily time frame, potentially this was an evening star that we printed. It's been a straight shot, right? So it makes sense that we might pull back, retest this area, because we haven't, right? If you look previously when we had a triangle pattern here, we broke out. We had that, this huge run where we didn't really pull back or anything. Like here, and when we did finally pull back, we had to pull back and test the zone that we broke out of, right? Which was this area. And after that, eventually it printed out inverse head and shoulders before I continued. So I got the left shoulder here, head, right shoulder, and the neckline, which was essentially here. So then we broke out, right? Tested this again, double topped. So, top, double top, right? And we came back to retest the zone again. But if you look, again, we formed inverse head and shoulders, right? And then we made this huge move here. So now, what I'm thinking is, if this is in fact a short-term top, and we pull back, we have to be mindful of this area here. It might be a back test, right? So keep in mind, Amazon earnings is actually at the end of this month. So that would line up perfectly, right? Let these tech names consolidate, pull back a little bit, because usually there's a run up into earnings, right? So if we just go straight from now into earnings, then we'll be too extended. So it's good that we're chilling out right now. And then, the week leading into earnings, we get that huge breakout. So everything looks good, in my opinion, so far. I mean, obviously, until it doesn't, right? Just be mindful that we're getting pretty extended here. So we potentially might have to pull back a little bit and test this zone. So ES is essentially SP500 SPY. It's been kind of choppy up here. We haven't really done much. So pull back. Yeah, it's like every red day was followed by a green day. So except for these 2 days, not much volume here either. Potentially this could be a morning star, and we push up tomorrow, right? So we have to keep watch. Dow Jones, which essentially has Dizzy in it. Looks like we're stalling here. Right, so back between these two areas. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty choppy. If we can get that volume to break free from here, then a lot of the names can still push. Considering that tech and the SP500 have been pushing, I mean, maybe there's gonna be like a mini rotation back into these names, opening names, but we gotta see. But yeah, overall, I just wanted to touch base with Disney, because we were watching that triangle pattern, and if you guys taking that play with me, we already made pretty good profit already. So let's see, let me redraw it so it's a little cleaner, something like that, right? Yeah, what was that? So in that video, I think we entered in around here. We didn't nail the bottom. Still like a 7% move already with common shares, and obviously if you take that with calls, it's a lot more. I used to take calls a lot, but I haven't really been taking calls because I haven't been actively managing my positions too much. So I like to go in common shares and just kind of let it develop. But yeah, I'll continue to keep you guys updated on this Disney play. I think there's still potential, right? My ultimate goal is to play this monthly breakout. So far it looks good, so no red flags, but like I said earlier, please be mindful of the big indices. It's been a straight shot so far. So there's a potential that we pull back. I mean, depending, right? How you guys play it. If it's more of a long position, okay, just wait it out. But if it's more of a short-term play, remember to take some offensive strength and then reposition on these pullbacks. So say Nasdaq does pull back, there might be an entry right here, right, when it back tests this area, or back down here, and maybe here. But yeah, until then, I mean, just be sure to stay protective and always look over your shoulders. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for everything. Like and subscribe, and make sure to have that notification bell up. By the way, if you guys get to 100 likes, I'm gonna put 10,000 into QYLD, and we'll just track that moving forward. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. Let's get it, guys.